In this video, so we are starting our first project now that we have covered almost uh, a lot of the topics in HTML. We are going to start our first project, and this will be a code with me project. Basically, you can open up your editor and code along with me, and probably you will come up with something better. But yeah, I will put my thoughts down as I write the code for it. Um, this is a only HTML project, so there is no CSS, no JavaScript, uh, and I am taking this project from roadmap.sh. So roadmap.sh has been the go-to for seeing the entire front-end roadmap and how my videos are structured, and I'm going to use this website for the projects as well. So as far as I know, there are two projects here for HTML, just HTML, which is a single page CV and a basic HTML website. So I'm going to cover the single page CV and the basic HTML website, and we'll see how it goes. Um, so we'll start with the single page CV. Uh, let's just understand what the ask is. It says that we have to create a single page HTML CV to showcase our career history. The goal of this project is to teach you how to create structured single page CV using only HTML. You will focus on laying out your education skills, career history in a clean semantic manner. Styling will be addressed in a later project. Okay. In this project, you are required to create a single page CV curriculum vitae using only HTML. Your web page should look like the following image. So there are some sections here: your name, your title, uh, address, all of that. Um, yeah, key requirements for this project. You have to put semantic HTML. So the last topic that we did was semantics. We need to have SEO meta tags. Okay, open graph tags. I'm not sure what this means, but we'll learn while doing it. And favicon. Add a favicon for your CV image. I don't think I learned how to do that, but we'll learn that in this project as well. So that's a benefit of having projects, right? Because you kind of hear these terms that you have no idea about, and it's kind of beneficial because then you know that you're going to Google or ask AI to kind of figure out how to do it. So you kind of learn problem solving through research on the go, right? The checklist is basically we need to have semantically correct HTML structure, a single page layout with sections for education, skills, and career history. Skills, education, career history, all right. SEO meta tags, OG tags, favicon, right? So by completing this project, you'll gain a solid understanding of how to create a single page CV using HTML, apply basic SEO principles, and prepare your web page for future styling. Great. This foundation will enable you to move on to styling the CV using CSS in subsequent projects. So we'll focus only on creating the layout and nothing else. So yeah, we'll go back to the code editor. I'll start a new file here. I'll uh, I'll call it single cv.html, right? And now to start with, we'll declare the block type HTML. We'll create our HTML tags, right? We'll put the head. We'll title it as, sorry, single page CV. We'll call it my single page CV, right? Then we will put in the body tag, and then we'll start at least sketching out the obvious things, right? uh, so all this, and since we are going to create semantic HTML, I'm going to assume like this part here, your name will be our header, and along with a designation and the address. Then we'll jump to creating skills and education and all of that, right? So let's do that. So we will first create a header, right? And I'll comment it here as header section with my name, designation, and address, right? And within the header we are going to add a section, and we are going to call it with the class my name, and I'll give it a id equals name, and within that I'll create a heading and I'll call it Siddharth Das, right? Then we'll create section class equals my designation, id equals designation, and we will give it a h4 tag and say dumb learner, and then we'll create another section. Actually, instead of creating this many sections, uh, let's just get rid of all the unnecessary sections. We'll keep one section here, section, we'll call it my details, and we'll give it details, and then under it we'll create div class equals my name, id equals name, and under it we'll paste our h1, right? And then we'll create another div class equals my address, sorry, my designation, id equals designation, and within that we'll get rid of this, we'll paste this, and then div class equals my address, id equals address, and this will be a p tag that will have something like 123 MG Road, Delhi, 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? Let's call it 123 Tulip Apartments. This is not my real address, by the way. I'm giving it a BR, MG Road, and then I'll put in another BR here, right? And we'll save it as it is, and we'll just check how it looks. Copy path. So looks alright. Dumb learner. This could be a little bigger, so we'll just do that. We'll give it a h3 tag. Yeah, that does dumb learner. You're seeing a lot of spaces in between, most likely because of the div tags, but that's okay, because as long as we maintain the structure, it's going to uh, retain the correct spacing. So yeah, I fixed the h3. What else is there? So yeah, we need to add an email and a phone number, right? Let's say we'll add a BR, and oh yeah, this, since this is an address, right? We can put it under address, and then within the address we'll take this and just paste it. So we kind of know that this is my address, right? So P, I'm going to put this in BR, and then I need an email. Siddharth at resume.com, and BR. Is there a telephone? No, there's no telephone link. But yeah, I'll just put it as +1 2 3 4 5 6 9 0. We'll call it as contact, right? So I think we are all set. Yeah. So now that I've declared it as address, it kind of italicizes it, which is fine, right? We are just following our structure. So this header section is done. Now, is there anything that is left here? No. We can jump to the skills, education, experience, and across the internet, right? So let's say we do that as well. So something like we'll go and create a main section, right? And under the main, we'll first create a section, class equals skills, id is equal to my skills, right? And it's just a regular statement, so I'll give it a div, class equals skill details, id is equal to skill details, right? Actually, as you can see that skills, education, experience, these are the ones that uh, have the same kind of formatting. So I'm going to give them a similar class. Um, I'll call these section header, right? Right. We'll call them the section header. ID is equal to my skills, skill details, and then we are going to give a p tag, and the p tag will contain HTML5, uh, problem solving, research, marketing, YouTube, um, what else? Yeah, I think that's enough, right? So we have given a section which is called which is, oh shit, so this should not be the same as that, because I have to give a heading as well, right? So let's call it section as this section to be skills. uh, this is, let's call it section, uh, we'll call it a resume section, and then we'll call a div, and in this div we'll give a section header, right? id is equal to skill header, and we'll give it h3 my skills, right? And this will be section details. So the idea is all the sections should be identifiable, but within those sections there's a heading and then there's a paragraph, and all of them follow the same kind of format. So I need to give them a similar class, but they should be identifiable in terms of different IDs, right? So let's say after skills the next thing is education, right? So let's say we call a section class equals resume section, id is equal to education, right? And then we create a div class equals section header, right? And h3 is my education. Then another div which is in blue, so we'll call it class equals section, we'll call it section sub, and we'll give it an h2 Montessori school Delhi, right? uh, did some degree, let's say. All right, and then we delve into the details. Div class equals section details, and we can give them IDs like education header, id equals uh, education sub, and id equals education details, right? And then within this we'll have list of things you did at university. Okay, let's call it university, right? List, it's saying list of exciting things you did at university. So what if I call it a UL? Can I do that? Or actually, let's make a OL. OL li ran a 100-kilometer marathon. Li uh, learn how to work with economics problems, and li solved a entrepreneurship challenge. Alright, I think this is enough. So if we save it now, go back. So we have my skills done, my education. Under my education, there's the first university, and then there's some description of it. Alright, yeah. Now this section is done, so we are done with the education section, and we need experience, right? uh, oh, I had to add a month as well. Alright, we can do that. We'll just do a div class is equal to section duration id equals education duration, and we'll put a p tag and we'll bold it. Actually we'll italicize it, and we'll say um, June 2018 to September 2022, right? So yeah, we're done with that, right? Oh, this should have been under this, so we'll do that. Control X, we'll put it here. Just auto formatted everything, so this looks clean enough. I think we'll jump to the next one, which is our section on experience. So I'll call this a section class equals how are we naming them? Resume section. Okay, resume section, and id equals experience, right? Then we have our div class is equal to section header id is equal to exp header. And what tag did we use last time in the header of this? We used a h3. We used a h3. We'll call it my experience. Then we'll do a div class, and we'll go for a section sub duration and details, right? Dev equals section sub id is equal to exp sub, and then we have an h2 tag. We will call this lovely company LLP, right? And then we have our section duration div class equals section duration, and id is equal to exp duration, and h2 is, sorry, not h2, we had basically a p tag and an I tag, right? I'll erase this. We'll call it, say, sept 2022 to of 2024. Then div class equals section details, id is equal to exp details, and this had, I think, some bullet points, yeah. So we'll create UL, li item, ran econometric models to predict growth, and I researched R&D costs over 10-year period. Published time-based analytics model report. Just, putting things out of my ass right now. Uh, Now our section details is covered, exp details is covered. Oh, so this is a complete section in itself, from this company to this company, this details, and there's div class equals check section skills, and id is equal to exp skills, and this is going to be a paragraph of skills, research, modeling, analysis, right? So if we view it now, yeah, I think we have nailed it perfectly. The only thing that I'll do is, uh, since this entire section is one particular company, so I am going to give a div class equals company, id equals company 1. I'll take this div and I'll put it here, right? So if you are just wondering how I'm auto formatting the indentation, it's Shift Alt F on VS Code. So yeah, we have our first company, and in our second company, to put our second company, I'll just copy all of this, copy, and oh, I didn't copy at all. Oh, I forgot to add comments. I'll just add my comments. So main section, and then my skills section, and then my education section, my experience section, right? And then here I'll put in a comment, company 1, right? And then I am going to copy all of this, and then I'm going to add a comment saying company 2, and then I'll copy paste everything, and from here I'll say id company 2. Yeah, it's showing an error. The id value should be unique, so we can call it experience sub 1, experience duration 1, experience details 1, experience skills 1, right? Here also we can experience sub 2. We'll call it mindful company PT Ltd, right? We'll call it experience duration 2, and we'll call it now 2024 to till date, right? And this is experience details 2. We'll change this text to marketed new research analytics software reached out to B2B clients in consulting industry and closed 10 plus sales worth INR 1 CR in annual revenue, right? And we'll call it skills, will say marketing, sales, outreach, right? So now we have covered the company and experience section. Shift Alt F. So we have formatted everything, right? And then from that we'll just test it out. I didn't save it. Yeah, we have now sorted that piece out, and from there we need across the internet add your LinkedIn GitHub profile links, right? So this is like a footer, so I'll put that section class equals footer, where we are adding IDs to the footers or the sections, sorry. Yes, we were. We'll call it ID equals resume footer, right? And then we had across the internet, which was basically this was basically a section header, so we'll call div class equals section header, ID is equal to footer header, right? And we'll say h3 is, was it a h3, my skills, my experience? Yeah, correct. So this was an h3, and we'll call it across the internet. And then we have some profile links, so we'll call it section links. So div class equals section links, ID is equal to footer links, and we'll put in our ahref equals GitHub ahref equals LinkedIn ahref equals YouTube, right? And we will add https www.github.com https www.linkedin.com https www.youtube.com, right? We'll call it footer, add a comment here, we'll call it footer section, right? So our comments are done, our links are done. Is there anything else missing? I think not. So we have covered almost everything that was there in the structure, right? So this was the structure as mentioned to us, and we have done that. What semantic HTML, use appropriate HTML tags to structure your CV. So we have footer, main, the different section tags, and we have a header as well. So yeah, we have covered that piece, so we are good to go. SEO meta tags include essential meta tags for SEO. We'll go to meta tags MD and docs, and we'll see what are the necessary ones that we need to put in. The meta HTML element represents metadata that cannot be represented by other meta related elements such as base, link, script, style, or title. Okay. So if I have to define these, right, this attribute so this attribute declares the document's character encoding. If the attribute is present, its value must be an ASCII case insensitive match UTF-8, because UTF-8 is the only valid encoding for HTML5 documents. Meta elements which declare a character encoding must be located entirely within the first 1024 bytes of the document. Okay, I don't think we'll need it. Content, okay. mm, hmm. What meta tags are essential for SEO? What meta tags are important for SEO? Key meta tags: title, description, char set. Okay, okay, we'll do that. So we'll go to our head and we'll comment out meta details for SEO, and then we'll write here, we need the title, description, char set. I think that's it. So we'll go back to our MDN docs and we'll see how it is done. So we have to write meta name equals title, description, content equals Siddharth's single page CV. We'll put in another meta name is equals to description, content is equal to Siddharth's CV details with personal info, skills, education, experience, and important links, right? So that is done. Then meta char set is equals UTF-8, right? So we have done the essentials for meta details, right? uh, this part is done. What else? Open graph tags. Add OG tags for better social media sharing. So I don't know how to add OG tags. We'll see. OG tags. If I go here and I search for OG tags, I don't get anything. How to add OG tags in HTML? So we have to put in these details. All right. So we'll take these and we'll add in open graph property details. So first is meta property OG title, Siddharth's single page CV, website. We need an image, so I'm going to take an image from the internet. uh, let's say image resume. I'll take a icon image, so something like this. We will copy the image address and we'll put in this png OG URL. So we'll put in single cv.html. For now this is good. So I think we are done with the open graph property details as well. What else is left? Favicon. Add a favicon for your page. So we'll check that as well. Simple again. How to add a favicon in HTML, right? So I'll check this. So in title you have to put a link relation icon type. Okay, so I'll just copy this. I'll comment out favicon item link relation icon type image x icon, and we will take a resume icon image from the internet. Images. I think this is clean enough. We'll take the image address and put it here and save it. So now the favicon image appears here. All the details are here. If I inspect it, all the meta information should be visible here. Yes, and the open graph details and the favicon item details. So yeah, we are done with everything, I think. So we have done semantically correct HTML structure. We have put in a single page layout with sections for education, skills, and career history. We have put in the SEO meta tags. We have been able to put the OG tags for better social media sharing, and a favicon linked in the heads section. So yeah, we are done. So that was it. I think it took us exactly 45 minutes to write this entire thing out, and this was about 141 lines of HTML, which is not bad. I think this was, the first real time, real world use case that came to us, and we got away with something decent looking. Obviously, there's no CSS or styling, but as it is, that's the most organized thinking we have done with a project, right? And the key takeaway is wherever you get stuck, you can always Google and kind of find out what are the best practices, what things you can do better. And if you don't know something like how to add OG tags, you can always Google and find out what other people do in order to put OG tags. So the key is research, understand, and then execute, right? So yeah, see you in the next video. Next video will also be another project, which it will also be a code with me project, and hopefully something more exciting. And see you in the next video. Thank you.